Hey guys, this is your recap video for session 4 of the Hoop Connection, and we had quite a few people that missed this class, so I'm going to make sure this is an in-depth recap. We mostly covered weaves and turning and kind of tosses and rolls, so I'll go into it. We started with feeling the inner and outer space of your hoop, which means feeling around where the hoop is going without actually touching it. So dipping a hand inside, and then even so far as you can trace the space inside your hoop all the way from one side of your body to the other side behind you. This helps to have a weighted hoop, and it helps if you're turning. Eventually you can put both arms through. Kind of just adds flair to your hoop. Practice. Same thing for the outside. So for the outside, you're going to follow the direction of the hoop and chase the hoop. And eventually this can look like this. You can have one on the inside and one on the outside. You can even work towards clapping your hands together. Just fun things to play with. And then we talked about the timing of your paddles with breaks is that instead of a normal break goes from 1, 2, 1, 2. When you add the paddle, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So same thing if you're here. So you start with your opposite hand in. As soon as the hoop crosses, you're going to bring that arm out. So we go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Things to work towards and kind of practice throughout the series. The next thing that we learned was turning coin flip weave. So this looks like this. Let me just... So, our feet, we have whatever hand the hoop is in, that leg is going to be the one that's in back. So the back leg holds the hoop. We bring the hoop in front of us. We swivel towards, I'm swiveling towards you as I point my fingers forward. And then as I point my thumb down, I'm going to swivel once more so I'm facing the other direction. So that's one way that you can turn in your weave. Another thing that we worked on in the first class, we didn't get to in the second class, is a continuous turning figure 8 weave. And for that one, you're going to start, again, whatever hand the hoop is in, that leg is in the back. And you're going to turn towards the arm with the hoop every time your body's on the opposite side. So your hoop's on the opposite side. So I have the hoop in, for you the hoop's in your right hand. So when it goes over to your left side, you're going to swivel, turn, and now you're in a backwards weave. And then as it crosses over again, we're going to swivel, turn, and now we're in a forwards weave. We can spend a little bit more time on that in the next class because we didn't get super far with it. Yeah. We'll just spend more time with it because it's kind of tricky. And so the next thing that we did was the behind the back weave, where we were moving out of the way of the hoop. So this hoop is doing a forward weave on the back of your body. So if I was facing this way, it would be forward. So technically it's basically backward. I know, it's weird. So you start with the hoop, your hand at the bottom of the hoop. You're going to let it drop in front of you, and then you're going to lift it up behind you with your thumb up. And now you're going to reach over it with your arm. So reach over the hoop and then grab the inside of the hoop. So it's like an over-under. And now you're going to bring it to cross on the other side of your back. Point the thumb up. The hoop goes directly behind you. It will help to do this in a mirror or film yourself. And then you reach your shoulder over. You have to kind of move your body out of the way to keep the plane. So that's how that looks eventually. And the more you practice and the more you move your body out of the way, the cleaner it's going to look and the faster you'll be able to do it. So it's another thing to practice. The next thing that we worked on was tosses under the elbow. So starting with the hoop in a falling current, that means when it's in front of you, it's falling. you're gonna, again, we point our thumb where we want the hoop to go. So you'll close your hand around it. Feel for the moments where you can close your hand around the hoop. And at that moment, you're gonna take your hand as close to your armpit as possible for a toss. So we're here, and tuck that elbow in. You're gonna reach underneath like this. And that can either be a toss or it can go as a roll, which is a little bit tricky, but if you throw it really gently, it can roll across your arm. I can't nail it right now. We'll try again later. Okay, and so we have our elbow toss. We also did a toss under the leg. So the under leg toss, your hoop's in a rising current, which means the half of the hoop that's crossing my body is lifting up. So I'm going to use my opposite leg. Same thing, feel for the moment when I can touch my hand to my hoop, and then toss it under the leg. It helps if you cross the leg across your body to get it out of the way, and it helps have your hand go all the way past your knee, so it looks like this. You can do these a bunch in a row, if you have a higher ceiling than I do. And then we did behind the back roll. So for this behind the back roll, same, it was similar to the elbow toss, but just a little bit different. So same concept, I have the hoop going in a falling current, and then I take my hand to my lower back, and I let the hoop go in a kind of a diagonal line from here over my shoulder. And you'll look for the hoop across your opposite shoulder, like this. So we're here, close our hand around the hoop, point our thumb up, but slightly at a diagonal. There it is. Okay, and then we practiced with our elbows a little bit more this last class. Again, so starting the hoop around your hand, you can slowly lift your arm up to get it onto your upper arm. And then look for this gap right here. And the next time you feel that gap, you can bring your whole, whoa. Wow, okay. So just like this, you can practice bringing your elbow in and out. Some of us are working on behind the back passes. So that should cover most everything that we learned. Thank you all so much.